All right, so we're looking at the Unit 8 CBA review. This is our help video, so this is just going to quickly explain exactly what it is the question's asking you to do, and later this week I will post a video actually giving you the answers to the review in full. So, which table shows only values that represent the following relationship between S and H? So we have S is equal to 5.5H. First of all, we have 5.5 multiplied by whatever our H is. So we need to look at this and say 2 multiplied by 5.5. Figure out, is that 7.5? Is that 11? Is that 5.5? Is that 5.5? Basically, you're going to multiply these out. You're going to figure out which one actually follows the pattern that has been given to you, the multiplicative pattern. Guys, I really want you to try at least 2 of these before you choose which one is correct. I know that you may not like that idea, but try at least 2 of them to make sure the pattern follows through the entire thing. Looking at number 2. For every 3 miles, there are 5,280 yards. Which equation best represents the number of yards, y, in a given number of miles, m? So there's 3 miles for every 5,280 yards. So we've got 3 is the same as saying 5,280. So we need to figure out, how do we get from 3 to 5,280? This is where we need to make sure we do our y divided by x. So we've got 5,280 divided by 3. Once you work through that, you can figure out what your pattern is going to be. Obviously, because we have, I am not thinking we're going to add something to our miles to get this. We're going to have to multiply our miles by the number of yards. So this is going to be a multiplicative pattern. 6.6a. John tracked the number of miles he ran during 1 week. The table below displays his data. All right, so which of the following statements is true based off the information in the table? We're looking 1 to 0.5, 2 to 1, 3 to 1.5, 4 to 2, 5 to 2.5, and 6 to 3. Now, if you notice, we're getting smaller. We need to figure out what it is that's happening to make this smaller. Are we subtracting? Are we dividing? Those are the 2 options we have in order to get a smaller number. So, the number of days John ran is the dependent quantity because they are the x values. So this isn't even asking us to find the pattern. This is asking us to figure out what the independent and dependent quantities are. So if you want to look back at your notes, that would be a great idea to figure out what goes with what. 6.6c. Jack earned $2.50 allowance each week that he made his bed all week. Which graph best represents the relationship between the number of weeks, W, and the amount of allowance, A, he would make? So, we know each week, we're talking about $2.50 for every week he makes his bed. So, is that $2.50 plus the number of weeks, or $2.50 multiplied by every week that he has? Once you've figured that out, you can figure out, is it additive or multiplicative, and where our graph should start. Once you've found that out, go ahead and make a table with your rule that you have found. And you can go ahead and check if that table might match some of the coordinates that are on these graphs. Okay. The table below shows the relationship between A, the money Ashley has at the beginning of each day, and R, the money Ashley has after she rides the train to work. A and R. She has $11.36 at the beginning of the day and $7.12 at the end of the day. $18.54 at the beginning of the day, $14.30 at the end of the day. $6 at the beginning of the day, $1.76 at the end of the day. So we need to figure out what is changing here. We know our number is getting smaller, but what's it getting smaller by? Is it a multiplication problem? Is it a division problem? First thing we can do is we have our R values and we have our A values. So if I plug this in and say R, so $11.36, is that equal to $7.12? Oh, I flipped them. This is why it's so important that you pay attention to what you're writing, because even Mrs. Coyle sometimes makes a mistake. So our $7.12 is our dependent, which means it's on the outside in our y place. And then it says $11.36 divided by 0.62. So if you solve that, find out if it's actually true. If you divide $11.36 divided by 0.62, are you going to end up with $7.12? If you find that that is true, you have to try another one. See if the pattern continues. All right. So, which statement describes the relationship between x and y in these two equations? We have y is equal to 4 times x, and y is equal to x plus 4. We are looking which one is additive, which one's multiplicative, and you need to understand what additive and multiplicative mean. So if you need to go back to your notes, this would be a really good time to look at those to find out what makes additive and what makes it multiplicative in an equation form. All right. The table below represents the number of minutes Stephen watched television for a month. What is the dependent quantity in this situation? Remember, dependent is our output and our y-axis. Figure out which one describes the dependent quantity. All right, a coordinate grid is shown below. What coordinate is 3 units to the left of the origin, which is 0, 0, and 5 units below the x-axis? So you have to move 3 units to the left and then 5 units below the x-axis. Remember, this is the x, this is the y. X and y. All right. The coordinate grid below shows a point on the grid. What is the value of the y coordinate for point T? So every coordinate pair has an x value and a y value. You need to figure out what is the y value for this point T on our grid. And finally, a coordinate grid is shown below. Which coordinate is not represented below? So I want you to make sure that you go through and you plot every single one of these points. You go through and you plot -4, 4, and all of those different points. I want to see 4 more points, or at least 3 other points on your grid to show me that you know exactly which one is correct. All right, y'all. Good luck. You're going to do great on this test. I know a lot of you have been doing really well on this topic. I want to make sure that we can go through this on Thursday. Make a question mark or write down your questions where you're not understanding so I can help you more on Thursday. Bye.